there, Mark Vergeer here with a package, and it was a package that I anticipated very greatly, so I actually ripped it open and I forgot to actually film it, but I'll show you what it is. It's from my good friend Tony Cruz, and he's included a note and something very special that I knew was coming. And well, let's go check it out. I got a Colecovision game programmed by Electric Adventures, programmed by Tony. And this actually is one of the prototypes. I helped him beta test, and actually you can see that there's placeholder text. And this is prototype number 2. And I'll open up the case. It's a very nice case. It actually has a certificate of authenticity. Cavern Fighter prototype, Electric Adventures, 16th of October, copy number 2. Isn't that great? So, certificate of authenticity on very nice paper. And then we have a manual. Very nice manual. Cave Fighter, great graphics. Guide your spacecraft across scrolling terrain, battling obstacles along the way into the heart of the enemy base. Basically, this is a super great version of Scramble, made by Tony. Very nice layout. It shows the console, and in a very similar style to the original manuals. Nice multicolors. And here's how to play. So basically it shows you how to play. Stage 1, the mountains. Stage 2, the cavern. Stage 3, the asteroid. Stage 4, the city. 5, the maze. And 6, the enemy base. Well, I've never managed to reach the enemy base in this game. Of course, in Electric Adventures, guys, it's really a tough game. So this is the prototype, and this is the cart. Very nice foam. I mean, for a homebrew cart, this actually looks amazing. Made in Germany. I believe Tony had some cartridge shells left, or produced or got some of them. But yes, Cavern Fighter is a trademark of Electric Adventures. And really nice looking red card. I like it. I like it a lot. So Tony actually wrote me a letter as well, and I'm going to share that with you because I think it's very nice. Howdy, Mark. Thank you for being a good mate and your efforts helping to test Cavern Fighter for the Colecovision. Enclosed is a signed prototype number 2. Cool. To thank you for your efforts. Regards, Tony Cruz. And it took a fair while to come to the Netherlands, and then it took it took about a week for me to actually have the time to actually record this little video. But yeah, I'll show you some gameplay of the prototype, because I recorded a ton of footage in various stages of me playing the prototype, and it's actually very interesting to see it evolve, you know, see the game mechanics evolve, the difficulty tweaked, you know, things with the sprites being changed around, and music added, sound effects added. It really is amazing to see a game like this evolve and to be able to give some feedback. You know, if you see a glitch, try to reproduce it and describe under which circumstances it actually happens. And I may actually include some of that footage, just, you know, behind the scenes kind of thing. And I'll link Tony's video in which he actually shows you how to play the game properly. He does it so much better than I. So I'll include some beta test footage and I'll refer you to Tony's video for the proper gameplay, because I mean he's been testing it so much, you know, he'll probably be able to play it with his eyes closed. But yeah, tough game, a very nice game, and a very nice release. And Tony, thank you for actually having another great addition to my Electric Adventures game collection. Okay, Tony, I finally got the super game module to work. It's not an easy thing to do. I mean, I've been configuring all sorts of emulators, but this is just was just a bit beyond me. But let's go check it out. So I'll run the emulator and I'll drag the ROM in, and I need to have yeah. So easy, normal, hard, easy. Yeah. So it does recognize the joystick inputs. Space is left button, M is right button. So space, fire. Now, my keyboard has a hard time reading both. If I do directionals and fire or space, it has a few issues. So I'm not sure if there's a way to actually have Cool CV run with the joystick, but I might actually try it in Windows. This seems to be a very cool game of Scramble. It's very reminiscent of the Commodore 64 version. Whoops. I think the hitbox is a bit large, but get some fuel down. Okay, let's play it very safe. Wow. This really looks and plays the part, man. Very impressed. Oh! Moved down too much. Game over. Wow. Okay, so I've put the latest and greatest Cavern Fighter ROM in there. Let's press fire to begin. And indeed, it does scroll a whole lot faster. I've enlarged it a bit, so I'm not sure if my keyboard actually pulls correctly. I'm using a wireless Logitech keyboard. So, and it does a bit funny when using the cursor keys and also diagonal, you know, doing diagonal controls. I'm not sure if the matrix actually supports many keys at the same time, pressing many keys at the same time. It might. Hey, I can. I can actually fly way into the score. Whoops! So that's so I guess you don't check if the y coordinate of the ship actually. I don't think you do any collision detection over here. Can I fly into the? Yeah, I can. So yeah, it's a bit weird to be able to fly off in the eternal sunset. Ah! So that's something to look into. I guess it's not something you would really do or really think of. But it's on the whole, it's actually a lot faster than the previous version. I love the animation, and I love the multicolor in the sprites. So that's really something that the whoa, that was a bit weird. Oh, that's a bit weird. I'm not sure if you saw that. If I press up, then parts of the ship remained, parts of the ship sprite remains, and it actually kept on moving up. I'm not sure if I can reproduce that. Whoops. It's fast. Perhaps a bit too fast. I'm not sure. I guess the emulator is now going faster than ever before. Let's open that up again, because I'm not sure it's supposed to go that fast. Okay. It's a really strange emulator. I like emulators to have a bit of a GUI in order for you to actually know what you're doing. So let's see. It might be that the speed of the emulator was actually interfered with, or perhaps it was the difficult setting. Let me see if I can reproduce. Constant reproduce. But I had this error where I guess the ship is comprised out of multiple sprites layered on top of each other, and I was firing both fire buttons and I was moving up, and then the red parts or the purple parts of the spaceship remained. I think it was visible on the video. And I guess there's a bit of a so on the left you're restricted. And you can't move further than a little over halfway. Okay, so this is, yeah. Oh, hey, I shouldn't have died there. I didn't move down. So there is something fishy going on with the error detection. I'm not sure how you do it. If you're using coordinates. Oh, and that's weird. Why should I have dropped to stage 2? I should have just remained at stage 1, right? Just try again. But that doesn't hurt to see stage 2. Oh, stage 2. Wow. Okay, so yeah, if I were to start again, I would expect to arrive at the first scene like this. Yeah, this is okay. I'm not sure what happened there. I think you forgot to reset the variable that restarts the level at or it restarts the game at level 1. I'm not sure if you've already implemented sound but it could be that my emulator actually is not producing any sound. Most of the thing, I mean, if it's capable of sound, it should. I've got all the sound. How do you say that? The sound. Oh, if I move back. Oh yeah, no. Okay, so I've reached level 2. It really plays like Scramble. I mean, it really does, and it's cool. Wow. Yeah, I really had to dodge those. It really plays like Scramble. Let's kill them saucers. Oh, no, you're way above the fuel. You're way above the fuel there, and you still die. So there might be something off there. Let's see if I continue on level 2, because I expect to be back at level 1. Yeah, so I'm not sure what went on there, but I did end up at level 2 for a while. And here you can actually see that I can come up very close to the. Oh, there you actually do hit the tank. So I guess the hitboxes are squares. I'm not sure if the Coleco Super Game module actually does hardware sprite collisions. So I guess that's why you sometimes think you're safe while your ship seems to be a bit above the other graphics, and you still die. Oh, bloody hell. I wonder what happens if you go all the way up top. Okay, so it does game over. I guess the sprite scrolls around. Oh, look. And now you end up with level 2 after the game over. So that leads you a game over. So yeah, I guess I'm sort of fooling the game logic over here. Let's see if I return to level 1 now. Yeah. So it's some sort of a reproducible thing. I'll hope you'll manage to know from what is happening on the screen. I hope you managed to figure out what was happening in the code. Gosh, it looks wonderful. It really looks great. But you really need an SGM for this, or is this really not possible on the standard old Coleco? I guess the complexity of the sprites, or the amount of sprites on the screen, might have actually have been a thing. I'm not sure. I thought that the Super Game module actually turned the Coleco into some sort of almost MSX-like, MSX1 capable system. Let's see if I can get any further. That level 2 is really quite... Ay. It's tough. Anyways, I hope you liked my little gameplay of it and give you some feedback. I hope you have some stuff that you can code again. I love the title screen. So I guess this gradient effect is actually what you were looking for, instead of that the other one that's actually more stagnant. What is it? Stagnant. It's very. I just woke up, so it's very early for me. But Great stuff. And I see that you actually changed the date, 1991-2020. So yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna upload this unlisted to YouTube again for you to check out. Okay. Bye bye. Okay, let's finally check out that new build of Cavern Fighter for you, Tony. Sorry, it's been far too long. And I am running it on the CoolCV emulator on Linux, and I'll turn on the audio for the game and turn lower the audio of the mic. So yeah, let's check it out. Okay, I'll have commentary on right now. So yeah, it seems to be a lot more fluid when you play it, which is good. And it's also good that with one key press, you basically fire your bombs. Oops, your bombs and your bullets at the same time. So, because that's kind of hard to do on the Coleco controller. But yeah, it does feel a lot more fluid. Whoops. And the fact that I smash into the top level means that, and I explode, means that I can't fly into the score. But the thing is that actually a thing that you want to have happening? You know, that you actually die when you hit the ceiling? Or is it that you just want to limit your ship from flying up there? Because then it would just stop and you wouldn't lose your life, but you just would not be able to move up there. I'm not sure, but that does seem to be the case in other scrambled versions. I'm not sure, but yeah. This really feels the part, man. This actually feels very good. I'm so sorry that I didn't get back to you anytime sooner, but oh, bloody hell, this actually is very fun to play. It's less mean, because your games often are very mean. They're super mean, but yeah, this is actually quite fun and playable. Now I'm using a very old Xbox controller on my PC, and it sort of does put you on a diagonal trajectory if you're not careful. Could it be that the polling of the fire button is something that is not always as consistent? It feels like that sometimes you don't have, or perhaps it's because the fuel is very low. It could also be it. So you have a longer time in between. So your ship is less maneuverable. That could also be a fact, because my fuel got very low. And yeah, fuel goes down pretty fast. Oh, but now even with the high fuel, yeah, I'm pressing the button, but could be an emulator thing. And I'm also running this on a very old system, so yeah, but for some reason the game seems less responsive to fire presses, button presses sometimes. I'm not sure if it's just me or if that is something that you can observe happening. Because I was pressing fire and nothing came out, so the spacecraft got me. May be down to a number of bullets that can be on the screen at the same time. Not sure, but I perceive definite pauses in availability of bullets. And this is moving way too fast. This could be an emulator thing. I'm not sure if the Cool CV emulator actually has controls for timers and stuff. And now actually the buttons aren't as difficult. You know what? I'm gonna try RetroArch, because that has a Coleco emulator as well, right? So if I do load content and I go to start directory, Colecovision. Ah, now it does. Weird. Okay, let's see if it is as consistent as it was, because CMV was just weird. Oh. Okay, so yeah, the response rate to the fire button is on this system also inconsistent, but at the beginning of the video it was actually quite good. But now I'm pressing repeatedly and it just doesn't want to respond. But this could be emulator related, I'm not sure. Yeah, it's like very sporadically, and if you don't press it a lot but press it with longer pauses in between, it does seem to respond more quickly to bombs dropping as well. But there's certainly a lack of bullets that you are firing, which, whoops. So yeah, I'm not sure. I have to look back the clip. Fire. Yeah, it's somehow I think it felt a lot better than the first version, but for some reason I guess the number of bullets that are flying on the screen and the number of bombs that you can drop is actually limited, or perhaps the pulling of the joystick for both events. And now I was actually depressing both joysticks, both buttons. Oh, that's what I was doing. I was actually pressing both buttons like you would on the normal, like the scramble for the Vectrex. You would actually press down both buttons, and then actually the frame rate is more consistent. So I guess you're actually pulling the two fire buttons. You must be pulling both fire buttons. And actually, if you play it with one fire button, then you actually get half the firing rate, because if you press both firing buttons, then you actually feel that you have more ammo to your disposal. So I guess that's the thing. If you're not using both fire buttons, and as a player there's no real use for it, as both seem to do the same thing. But that actually may be the thing, that the system is just, the game engine is just a bit too slow when you actually are just not too slow, but you know what I mean. I guess that, you know, the pulling of the fire buttons is something that if you're just using the one, you have the sense of having very little ammo. I guess that's the best way to explain how your code probably works. Because if you use both buttons, then it's still quite tough to have enough. And perhaps, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what is up with the response rate of the buttons, because that's something that feels inconsistent. For the rest of the game feels very consistent in speed. But yeah, you fire far too slowly, at least on my machine here. Your firing rate is far too slow in order to actually stand any chance against those green saucers. Very cool that you actually are using two sprites overlapping. You're very nice sense of multicolor sprite. Yeah, I was a bit frustrated with my Linux machine, but I hope you get some out of this, and I'll probably upload it to YouTube, because it's been going on for 30 minutes, and I guess it won't fit in Facebook Messenger, but I'll do an unlisted YouTube upload and post you a link in Messenger, and hopefully you can do something with my feedback. I think you've made huge strides in this game, and yeah, you will probably be able to tell whether or not I'm just looking at emulator issues, or my system being just a bit weird, or if you can replicate the things that I say. But the fact that you cannot fly into the score, that you crash at the points where you want to crash, I think a lot of bugs have been removed. The sound is excellent. Movement of the ship is excellent. It takes a bit of getting used to, but yeah, it's quite excellent. And I think the firing rate of the ammo, and I'm not sure what was happening with my system when we encountered these weird speed ups. Could be emulator related, you know, that you can have a certain key press where you actually speed up the emulating of the system or something, or if it's something that the code itself is capable of. Anyways, Mark signing off, and I hope you can do something with this. Sorry that it took so long, and yeah, now you have to endure this 30-minute video, or you might not. Anyways, hope you have a good time. I hope everybody is safe. I hope everybody is sound, and talk to you next time. Ciao. Okay, time for the Cavern's 2020-05-14 version. So let's switch to the Elgato and switch over to my television. It seems to work well. I'm just capturing all the audio through the mic. So yeah, but bloody hell, this actually is a very fun game. And this also, let me see, update gaming lists, yep. So now the Colecovision probably has a lot more art. Yeah, caverns. Let me see, caverns. Yeah, just using this NUC to play your game is actually easier than using an emulator on a computer. This basically is a consoleized little. Oh yeah, and I want to remove those. I want to remove those fancy border things. So I say game options, shaders, none, and a decoration also none. And basically, then you get the most unmodified version. I love the logo. I love how you managed to put that in. So yeah, there's no level selection, which is good because that was kind of or not the level selection that was there before. There's a nice little arrow. That is good. This makes it, yeah, so it has the functionality, and there's a little bit of a delay. You really have to program that in, of course. And then, oh, then it switches to the, yeah. I would not do that because now I was in the menu and it jumps, but yeah. Let me see. One button. Yeah. Okay, so there's not many bullets available still, and of course I'm pressing the fire button. Is there a difference between the two? If I press 1, if I press my A button, it fires at this rate, and then I die. There might be a difference, different in rate. So I'm pressing the first fire button, or my A button. And now I'm going to switch to the other one. It's about as, yeah, it has the same speed, so there's no difference. But really, the number of oh wait, so you keep the button depressed and then you release it, and then it actually drops a bomb. Oh, okay. Yeah, so you can actually time your bombs. Oh, okay. So I should be able to. Oh, that's actually a very good mechanic. That you just temporarily release the fire button, and then you release a rocket. Might have been in there before, but you know, I was just being so absorbed with this emulator not running correctly on my system, or I thought that it actually okay. So you do have control over the bombs that you drop. It's just that you predominantly fire horizontally, and then if you just let go of your fire button, then you actually drop a bomb. That's good, because you're basically using a single button with dual functionality. Bomb, bomb, bomb. Yep, that actually works excellent. That is just perfect. And of course, me testing it out, I really not need to get my fuel. But that's the thing about this game, you know, getting enough fuel. So okay, and I can't fly any further up the screen, so I guess that's also dependent upon level of difficulty and of course the design of the game. When I'm playing a version like this, you know, I only see this. But it's very cool. It actually reminds me a lot of the Commodore 64 version. And I must say the movement of the ship is excellent. And you do fly, you do kill yourself against the ceiling, which is fine, of course. I mean, it's just how the game works. Yeah. But I guess with that menu and that little arrow thing that you did, it actually is a lot clearer. And now I should stop waffling. I really want to get a better score. And from what I've seen, the lives counting down is actually properly functioning. You know, it doesn't get stuck on, or does it? Yeah, I think it does, because I had too long. We'll see. And there's a D in the score, a blue D in the score appearing. So I guess converting to decimal might be a bit glitchy still. Or how do you say it, decimal? Well, you know, human numbers. Yeah, I feel very much in control of the ship, and I feel very much in control of my ammunition and the way it's been deployed, which is good, because I do seem to be keeping my ammo intact, and that last bit, I'm just impatient. Tony, this has a good balance, I feel. It's not like so many of the really tough electric adventure games, you know. I mean, it's tough. I like the pingy sound of the lasers, and the explosions are, you know, adequate for the time, I guess. You know, like this just white noise. They're different, you know. There's different explosions for different explosions, different exploding sounds, which is good. Because if they sounded exactly the same, that would be boring. But this really makes it distinct enough. It's also a review. It's just me reviewing this version. Yep. And if you fly back a bit, you manage to get the. Yeah, you really feel in control. I guess the auto fire thing is something I really enjoy. And of course, we're going to test the old scramble dual fire. Here I finally appear. Look at that. There's this nice drone. Wow, really this ominous drone. Oh man, this game really brings back that scramble feeling. The anticipation and the excitement of flying through the cave for the first time, and you know, not really knowing what to do, still not knowing where things are, and then finally you get a bit of a feel for it. But it's tough. It's tough. Let's see if I can change the control. Manual, 2 buttons. Start game. Yep. So one is flying forward, and the other one is the. Let me see. Yeah. This is what. This is always how I play the game with. Whoops. With an arcade stick or something, you know. But you do have more ammo. So I guess it's easier to keep your your ship filled, but it's also more distracting. So I think both have been implemented really well. You know, the two-button action, and you really did that quickly. I mean, I just told you about that just a day ago or something. It feels like. And then there's this menu system in place. Yeah, really cool, really cool. And on a gamepad, you know, the two buttons are not the most comfortable to use, but it's how many people actually play the game. They want separate control of their okay, so yeah, I do end up with more fuel. But it's tough. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm gonna try it again. I'm not sure if I'm actually able to make it past that cave. But I'm with you. I think even though the bullets are a bit more sparse, you do have an easier time controlling the game because this is really an exercise for your hand. Oh. Yeah, I'm just gonna increase the difficulty level and put it back to auto fire, because playing this on this controller is really tiring. I still want to give it a go. This is very addictive. And if a game is addictive, then it's a good game, because then there's the right amount of frustration and success to keep going. Hey, those bullets sort of went through. But yeah, that's, let me see, game, auto fire one button, and then hard, normal, easy, hard, 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 start game. Oh, manual, auto fire one button, hard. Whoa, that is bloody fast. But for some reason, I like my games fast. Let's see. I'm usually not too shabby at super fast games. I actually am. You think less. How do you say that? You have to think less. It's more instinct. I actually quite like this. I quite like this level. Game mode. Let's do it hard again. It's good that it defaults to the old settings. You know, if you're playing it with a friend and something, you know, it defaults to. At least I think it defaults to. I'm not sure about the lives. If the live counter actually works properly, we have to take a look at that, because I think it gets stuck. Yeah, it seems like you have the double amount of lives, and then Okay, so you start with let's do let's do normal. We haven't seen normal. I love it. So you start out with 3 lives, and I'm just gonna play it. It says 3 lives. The speed is just right for normal and easy, and for hard. Hard is like super crazy, which is good. And I think if you've played the game enough, you might be actually able to, like I did, actually get quite a bit further in the game. Yeah, for some it's actually playable that way. So oh, and I die, and it's set 2. Or I should pay better attention to the number, but it says 2. I have 2 lives left, or I'm in the 2nd life. And then it says 1. Okay. Perhaps it has to do with the moment the number changes or something like that. That it's might be a bit. Let me see again. Normal, and then start game. Love the logo. Love a lot about it. So it says 3 lives. So basically you have 3 lives left, right? And I'm playing, and I'm playing, and I'm playing. And if I die, it should say 2, right? I'm not dying, I'm just continuing to play. Very nice. I really like this normal speed. It plays very well, Tony. Okay, so it says 3 lives, and now of course, and then with the walls. Oh, but you have the of course the asteroids that come whizzing past in a bit, I guess. Cool. Oh, bloody hell! The asteroids. Those look cool as well. So and then it says 3. It remains on 3. So yeah, there's something fishy about the lives, because now I've got an extra life, and then it's 2, and it remains on 2. So I guess the moment I think it's a simple logical thing, like when do you deduct a life, and when does it say you have a life less? It's somehow behind a bit, because now it remains on 1. It should go down. So it's not logical for me. Oops, and then it's game over. This is interesting. I want to play it on normal yet again, or hard. Yeah, let's do hard. Bloody hell, hard is just awesome. This is unplayable if you do this manually. Then you just won't have any hands left. This is just one weird speed, but cool. I mean, this is hard. This is Electric Adventures, tough as nails, super hard, like it should. Yeah, but I think the game is perfect now. With the exception of the score, I think the rest seems to be pretty bug free. Hard, normal. Yeah. Okay, so you start out on 3 lives, and if you die it should say 2, and if you die again then it should say 1, and if you die again then it should say 0. So I'm on 3 lives. Whoops, now I should have 2, and it's 2. Perhaps it's just the impression that you have 2 lives because you set it at 2 when you're dying, and then you start again and it says 2 again, so it looks like, it appears like it remains the same or something like that. So the moment when you reset it, so you die and it is 1. Yeah, I think it's just my brain seeing how many lives I've left, and the moment I die and when it deducts. So logically it's correct, I guess, but the way it's displayed on the screen, I think I respond to whoops. Yeah, my what if I one button? My joystick isn't the best, the D-pad isn't the best. So I guess if you die, perhaps it's my brain expects the number to be deducted the moment I restart the game. So yeah, I guess that's it. And of course what happens is logical, because when you die your life gets deducted, and you see 1 life and it starts again, but somehow to my brain it feels like the number stays the same. So I guess, and perhaps it's just my ADHD brain. It happens perhaps if you deduct the life the moment you start the new game, or you start a new game and then a life is deducted and you start, or something like that, then it's more clear when the life actually is deducted. Oh, I'm just nitpicking, perhaps, I'm not sure, it's just... But logically it's correct what happens, but I just perceive it too differently, but I'm not sure. Perhaps other people feel the same, or it's just me. Perhaps if the life lost, it's now. I mean, it happens. Your ship dies, but I guess your ship dies, and perhaps the deduction of the life should be more visible or something, and should have a cue that you actually see it happen. And then you see that it's 1 less, and then if you start the new level with 1 less, yeah, I think that's how my brain actually works. So basically the game is, from what I've seen from it, is pretty much there was this little thing in the score though, where a blue bee appeared, the 3rd on the hundreds, and I'm not sure if that is just where that comes from. Is that a glitch in your human scoring thing, or is it just a screen refresh thing? I mean, I could be mistaken for a hexadecimal thing, you know, a number. this is really fun to play. I mean, I'm just playing this and restarting it and just having a blast, literally having a blast. You know, it's not frustrating, it's fun. And I guess that's because you got things just right. I mean, it's tough as nails. Love the font, by the way. I tip my head off to you because this actually looks and plays amazing. And yeah, perhaps you should look at the score thing, the live thing and the score thing. That's just it. And but movement, hit detection. Well, perhaps sometimes the buttons seem to fly through a ship, but I mean the game is also sometimes a bit forgiving, and I think that's okay actually. You know, that is a little bit forgiving. That the hitboxes are, yeah, that you don't appear to just die without you actually hitting something. So yeah, sometimes a bullet grazes one of the rockets, you know, that's fine, and sometimes you just get away with just barely grazing one of the things that's coming up at you, but it's not inconsistent, you know, it's really, it really feels well polished. You know, if something is like, well, it could easily feel not very polished, and a lot of homebrew games have that, and I guess it's tough to get that right, but you got it right. You really got it right, I say. Bloody hell, this is cool. And I love the sound effects. This is new. At least I didn't know that they were there previously, but now I notice them more, and I guess because I actually end up on this level. That is cool. And what also is quite a neat effect is actually the fact that the blue windows on the saucers actually sometimes they move a little bit ahead. You know, you see them flashing in front of the saucers, but that's actually a wonderful effect. It's like they're scanning or firing at you. You know, it's like, yeah. So yeah, you explode and then the number gets deducted, and then you start and it's the same number. Yeah, it's just my brain being weird. Whoops. But as you can see, when you play the game, you actually learn. And what I like about your game is actually that you really need to fly above it. Sometimes with the Commodore 64 game, you really had to fly very low, hiding in the the valleys. Yeah, but this actually is. Yeah, and I actually haven't seen that blue number appear in the score. But I, of course, am playing the game. But that's probably something you can look at when you see the game footage. You know, you pay attention to certain things. You see me commenting on things, and then you just observe whether or not these things happened. Could just be a glitch. glitch, yeah. Well, I mean, it's produced by your code, so. Yeah. Love the sound effects on these. Also, this drone, it really makes it different. You know, I mean, the ceiling, of course, drops down, but it really makes it feel like a different place that you're in. You know, with the little atmospheric sounds. And luckily, your fuel is very generously replenished the moment you hit one of these barrels. Hey, what was that? Did I get a life? I guess, yeah, 10,000 points, I got a life, cool. So that mechanic works as well. Oops. So I can keep trying. That's also quite cool about these old arcade games. Where 10,000 points actually counted. And was actually something. You got a reward. Wow! Oh! Whoa! Yeah. Wow. Oh, there's really a flying formation. Cool. Very cool, Tony. This is just awesome. Yeah, I say it's pretty much perfect, and with the little things that I just told you, I'm quite curious if I have the Commodore 64 version. I mean, yeah, I just can tag it on Scramble. It would be cool to play that, because that's the one I was exposed to the most. Scramble Spirit, Scramble 64 Interceptor, Mastertronic, Scramble 64 Interceptor. Yeah, there's different versions of Scramble, but not sure. I'm not sure about the surrounds. This is not the Scramble I wanted to play. The Scramble I'm used to is a Scramble with a K. Let me see. And then I'm just going to quickly edit this and send it your way so you can actually have Scramble. I think this is analog software. This is the Scramble that I played the most. Of course, this is also a port of a port of a port, but strictly forbidden. I think I need to change the joystick. Or perhaps not. Joystick button to play. I shouldn't have changed the joystick. Ah, there it is. So this is one of the versions that I played, and this basically has very similar auto firing mechanic, where it just gives you a number of bullets. The firing does feel very similar to yours. And I think they did a recreation of it, and perhaps, yeah, this actually did receive a new port, but yeah, this is basically, and I must say I like your version better. I played this a lot, but I think I prefer your version. It's a lot shorter, you know, the levels are shorter. And it's far easier, you know. It's not really a challenge. I think the only thing challenging about this game actually is when you have to do the diagonal thing, where you have to navigate through these vertical bits. And of course, I play this a lot, but yeah, I think your version is a ton better. And we could actually check out the main version, and then I'm just going to quickly edit it. Scramble. Scramble bootleg. Scramble. There's too many versions. This of course has the fire button. So yeah, the Commodore 64 version does look a lot like this version, but this version is moving a lot faster. This actually could be the bootleg that and I must say that your version really feels very similar to this one. I prefer the home ports of the game over the arcade. I guess this wasn't a vertical. This wasn't a horizontal screen. This probably was a vertical screen. But yeah, enough. You should be interested in my gameplay. So let's see if that worked. And I'll edit and upload it to you. Ta-ta.